Let me start off by saying that this is not my revenge or my story, but one I witnessed decades ago. One thing you need to know is that certain subsections of horse riding disciplines make dance moms look sane and well-adjusted. I was in one of them for a long time. It was really common for families with sisters to have a starter pony that was passed down from the older to the younger. This particular pair of sisters I'll call Tina and Louise 12 and 6 years, respectively. Like their namesakes from Bob's Burgers, Tina was sweet and awkward while Louise had a much bigger and more mischievous personality. In a sport dominated by petty individuals, they were always kind to me. They practiced hard but were never poor sports. Another pair of sisters, whom I'll call Tammy and Jocelyn 14 and 13-ish, were the exact opposite. Spoiled brats who hopped on the $20,000 plus horse warmed up by their trainer only to throw a fit at third place and demand their father replace the horse with a newer, better one. The one pony they refused to let their parents sell was their starter. In quotes, because this pony was a cool $30,000 now. For all their faults, Tammy and Jocelyn loved this pony. But it was a fabulous show pony who loved to jump and deserved to have a kid to pack around in the decades before he needed to be retired. Finally, their parents laid down the law and said that they would have to sell Pretty Pony in order to get both of them their next level of show horse. Pretty Pony would have been sold for a cool $20,000 still, as they kept him in good shape and he was a very nice pony. Now this made Tammy and Jocelyn have an attitude at the barn for a while. I don't have time for every example, but they would call other people's horses ugly, would purposefully move fences while people were trying to practice, etc. The coaches got them together and they knocked it off in general. But then they set their sights on Tina, who still had her starter pony. He was going to be retired to their home property to be a lawnmower once Louise outgrew him, not like Pretty Pony with many years and trophies ahead of him. Now, this next part was told to me later, but I wish I had seen the fallout in person. Tina was a tough little thing. She never responded or even told on them. Apparently, they would sit on the edge of the arena where no one could hear them and call her fat, uncoordinated, etc. as she passed during training. Tina was a rock star equitation rider, by the way, meaning that form, pattern work, and her seat were her specialty. I think she didn't tell on them because she knew what they were saying was categorically untrue. What they didn't realize was that Louise, like most 6-year-olds set loose at a barn, was running around and paying attention to everything. She overheard them bullying her sister. She also knew that they would not have to show horses, one for each sister, if they did not sell Pretty Pony.
She also knew where the grooming supplies were, the super sharp clippers and hair shears. She had been around horses her whole life. Pretty Pony was also very well trained at $30,000 you better f***ing be, and knew to stand still for grooming. In a matter of less than 30 minutes, the amount of time left in the lesson that was going on, Louise executed her plan. She hacked away every bit of his mane. I was told they had to roach it later. Completely buzz off. She randomly chopped at his gorgeous thick tail and took feet of hair off. She played innocent when someone caught her, but the damage was done. Now, here's the thing about selling horses. Any little thing will add to or subtract from the price. If they had tried to sell Pretty Pony with his awful weed whacker haircut, it would have been for literally half the price they were hoping for. So they had to wait almost a year for his mane and tail to grow back fully. Apparently, the meltdown Tammy and Jocelyn had when they saw him was spectacular. The meltdown they had when they realized they were going to have to decide who got to show that upcoming season was legendary. Louise did get in trouble, some, but mostly the barn focused on not letting children be unsupervised anymore. The adults and coaches all got onto each other more than anything else. Tammy and Jocelyn ended up not showing that season, but they also gave Tina and Louise a very wide berth. Before you get too concerned about Pretty Pony, he was fine. He had flesh sheets to protect him from bugs until his mane and tail grew back. He got sold to a lovely family who truly appreciated his talents. At least 4 kids I know of were taught to ride by this pony. He was very expensive for a reason, and it was great to see him so loved. When I saw him in his retirement, he was a vaguely pony-shaped ball of fat mowing the grass at their home. So, moral of the story, if you're going to depreciate someone's asset by 10-15K, Make sure to do it when you're 6 so that the adults will blame themselves for not watching you. Oh, and younger siblings are psychopaths.